This is a Gophers passing play against Iowa in the first half. Ends up being an interception for Iowa. The Gophers are in the red zone here. It's a play action pass. So I'm going to drop some of the schemes from this play and also talk a little bit about the Gophers passing attack against Iowa in general. Iowa lines up in two safeties, which they did for almost all the snaps during the game. And what Minnesota did to counter that was had Iowa been playing soft coverage, so cushion coverage instead of press look that they're in here, Minnesota came back and ran stop routes and out routes underneath this cover two look to try and get short gains in the passing game. So this is just very similar to an outside running play. They would have taken this receiver, run an out route, a stop route, something like that. Given that they are in press look here, what they did was they attacked this with play action because they knew Iowa was going to commit one of these two safeties to defend the run, and they tried to throw play action behind it. So if Iowa was ever in a single safety look, they also committed that safety and left themselves in cover zero, which is why I think, at least in my opinion, the Gophers were heavy pass, especially in the first half, trying to attack these looks. So as it stands, they're in press coverage, so the Gophers are going to run a play action fake, just fake inside zone. This safety is going to come up and commit to the run, and they're going to run a skinny post with this receiver behind that safety who's committing to the run. So if we take a look at the second frame, this is the fake handoff happening right here, and you can see already that the safety who is back is totally up and committed to stopping the run as an extra defender in the box. They commit this safety because they want to leave this free safety to defend against bubble screen. The Gophers are faking bubble screen up top here, so they're not going to commit defender on the field side because they have two receivers to the top. So what happens is they end up leaving this wide receiver in single coverage. So you look at the play action fake here, the quarterback's read is going to be just check to make sure this safety's coming down. And when he sees that, his second read is going to make sure that this receiver gets an inside release to run that skinny post. And if he sees those two things, he's going to throw it. So if we go to the tight angle here on the wide receiver, you can see the safety again is committed to the run. So at this point, the quarterback has the look he wants. He sees the safety come up, and the wide receiver gets an inside release. So one thing I'll say, he doesn't get a great release a clean release on the inside off the ball. This is a pretty good cornerback here for Iowa. So he's in single coverage with no safety help. If in the previous tight look frame, it's tough to see in just a snapshot, but the wide receiver does give a little bit of a fake and then come back inside, but this corner doesn't really bite, so he's on him the whole way. Now that being said, he does get an inside release. This is a big body right here, so he does have inside leverage on this corner, and again, to run the skinny post, if it's thrown in here, he's on the inside. Also, I just want to point out this receiver does do a good job of maintaining, vertical on his skinny post as opposed to drifting to the hash. He doesn't want to do that because the free safety is going to come over here. He's going to try to bail and come over to take away the post, which is why they want to run a skinny post here. So he does do a good job of getting vertical, gets himself inside. It's not a clean release, but he does get inside the corner. And then here's the ball. This cornerback comes through, makes a really nice play on the ball. I will say he got away with a little bit of a tug here. He pulls the Gopher receiver. He is allowed to make a play on the ball. He is allowed to come through and make a tip just like he does. But he does get away with a little bit of a pull. Pulls that receiver out of the way, makes a really nice play on the ball for a tip. So all in all, it was a good read by the quarterback. That's the look he wants. He did have leverage. He made a nice pass, but a really nice play by that corner. And you can see on the last frame here, the ball is tipped, and one of the defenders here who's bailing back after they realize it's a pass is there to take it in for an interception.